Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca. If this is your first time joining me, welcome and thank you so much for being here. These energy updates are when I tune into the energies of the week ahead and channel any important messages that come through for us to know as a collective. So first off, for my regular listeners here, I have to apologize for not posting the past few weeks. Every time that I've gone to sit down to channel, it's been very interesting because the messages have been very much coming through for myself and for specific people who I'd be reading for that week. And it kind of came to my realization that this was not for the collective. So every time I went to go and channel, I was getting personal messages and messages for friends and messages for clients. And it really just rose this awareness that that was where I needed to be focusing the past few weeks, is just in my little vicinity, my little community. And so I had to take a step back and really just bring my focus there. And I really feel like when those intuitive guidance and downloads come in, it's so important to listen to. So once more, so sorry about not being here, but I am back. I feel like today was finally this clearing kind of happened where it was like, okay, now you're ready to get back to it. I am kind of thinking and reassessing how I'm going to be doing these readings moving forward. There's just been a lot of different changes in life and how I've been wanting to approach my spiritual career. So with that being in mind, there might be some changes I'm going to be going into. So keep your eyes peeled and your ears open for those changes the next few weeks. So my friends, without further ado, let's dive into our energy update for this week. So we have a beautiful energy this week. It was really interesting tuning into it. So the first thing that I heard was second chances, springtime, new life, new beginnings, rest easy, all is well. Everything is balancing out now. Breathe deep and sever the cord to tension, to stress, to low self-worth. This new beginning starts now. So go gently, go slowly, shift your mindset. Gold is the goal. Renewal, rebirth. The sun will rise again. What's fated for you is written in the stars. A project now takes off. Movement and overflow. Realizing a mistaken point of view as it comes to light. You're not going anywhere. You're right where you need to be. So set yourself free from your own bondage. Rise. Rise like the horizon. You are being called back home. To you. To the heart of all you can be. Which is anything. All right, let's pause there. So amazing information that has come through for us this week. So a lot of us might have been going through these big shifts, and I feel like the past few weeks there has been that. There's been major shifts, there's been major transits. When we look at the astrology, we look at all of these things that have been coming in, the energy might have felt very tumultuous, like what is going on? And a lot of us have been feeling discouragement. We've been feeling a heaviness in our hearts. And they're actually making me feel a pressure in the mind of like, whoa, what is going on? Like almost like this energy that has been almost like a pressure. Yeah, just coming in like a pressure and a weight over the head is what they're making me feel. And they're kind of showing me this awareness of like, okay, this is now our second chance. And to reframe our mindsets is going to be very important this week because once again, we might have gotten a little low the past few weeks. We might have gotten a little dark and heavy, and that's totally normal. And we have to be in those spaces. But now we're coming to this awareness of the weight being lifted and coming to this awareness of second chances. Okay. So some of us might have come to this awareness that things have died off. Things have gotten very dark, as an example, or there's been certain areas in your life that you've brought closure to, a big cycle that might have been really heavy. And we can even see this mirrored in the planetary alignments, in the what's happening in the world and with our planet right now. And they keep reminding me of this energy update that I did, I believe it was last year, and it was a very potent energy update where it was talking a lot about this rise of the light worker and how the earth is literally going through this birth pain because it is transforming, it is releasing what is not serving, it's going through this detoxification so this birth can truly take place. So there's this huge awareness coming in of now this is our second chance, okay? And we're moving into the springtime, which is once again all about new things coming to this birth. So coming out of winter. So keep this in mind. If you've been heavy, okay, if you've been feeling the heaviness, feeling the darkness, remind yourself this is a death. This is a die-off. These are all those toxins coming to the light to be purged, okay? So we're not staying here. We're not staying in this death closure energy. We're moving out of it now. So this new rebirth can happen, okay? So really keep that in the forefront of your mind. If earthly events have been really heavy on you, remind yourself this is a rebirth process, and in order for this birth to take place, the pain comes first. Those pains, that labor pain is coming in hot, and we need to just keep pushing, okay? So this is our second chance. This springtime, this new life is coming in, and you're going to also see this reflected in your personal lives, okay? So even less on this planetary level, all of us are affected by this energy. So new life is coming in, new beginnings are happening. So I love how they were really just saying like, rest easy, okay? All is well. And I just keep hearing trust, trust, trust. We need to trust right now. So when things are feeling too heavy, you need to put that down and you need to give that to God. Okay? Some of these things are not meant for us to hold, even as much as we want to hold on to them, even as much as we might want to nitpick it and get into it and get angry about it or upset or whatever is coming to light. We need to give it to God to handle, because that is too big for one person to hold, okay? So they're really saying, remember, your light is what is most important, and your light is what can make the change, okay? So we have enough darkness, we don't need you dark too. Okay, very important. Do not feed in to what is dying, to what is already dead and expired, because they're actually showing me people going up and digging up a grave. Okay, don't dig up anger. Don't dig up old hurt. Don't get into wounding that you're wounding yourself with. Okay, what good are you when you're in that space? And we have to be very honest with ourselves. What good am I when I'm in that dark place? If I want change, I have to be the change. I have to be in my light. So how can you put it down? And how can you be in your light? Okay, things we have to think about. So we're in the second chance phase, okay? And we need to let go so we can be at peace, because this is what we want to promote, okay? So everything is balancing now. Breathe deep and sever the cord to tension, stress, and low self-worth. A new beginning starts now. Go gently, go slowly, and shift the mindset. I thought this was beautiful. So now coming back to more of this personal level, okay? What is draining you dry? What is making you feel in disarray? What is making you feel unbalanced in your life? What is causing tension, stress, and low self-worth? And how can you cut that toxic cord off from your being, off from your energy, okay? So once again, they're showing me a very toxic cord of old mindsets, of old programming, of old reaffirmed beliefs that are no longer valid. And this is once more the purging work that we're doing, is we're cutting off what no longer serves. So be very mindful this week of things that trigger this wounding in you. What triggers your stress? What triggers this low self-esteem? Okay, because we're bringing in a lot of new dreams. We're bringing in a lot of new, period, right now. So we have to be willing to traverse the new and have a mindset change. Okay, so this might be hard. Is it really saying that? Some of you are going to want to revert to your old patterns, and old wounding will be triggered, but you'll have to be smart about this. So when emotions come in, do not let them control you. So they're really being mindful of this. Like, do not let your emotions control you anymore. Honor them, feel them, respect them, but then realize where something has been long expired. So I'll give you examples. So say you get triggered by, I'm not good enough. That's a huge one that we see. I'm not good enough. This person doesn't appreciate me. The world doesn't appreciate me. And we get our back up, and then we just want to put our hands up and give up. This is a wound that all of us are meant to heal. Okay, you can see this huge theme of this because we've been taught this from the very beginning. You need to be good enough. You need to get out there and build and create and be successful. And that really sets us up for failure because none of us are ever going to be that perfect standard. So how can we look at that trigger and go, actually, no, this is my opportunity to become my own parent, my own savior, my own salvation, and go, no, I am good enough. I am worthy right where I am, and I am going to take my own hand and believe something different and believe something else. And it's this amazing glow up that happens, this amazing shift in your mindset each time you choose this new set of beliefs for yourself that empower yourself rather than disempower yourself. So they're really showing me this shift in mindset is very powerful, and we're going to be putting this into practice very strongly this week. Now, once again, they said go slowly, go gently, okay? This is a new beginning. We don't need to rush it. We don't need to go full throttle. This is a huge reminder for a lot of us because this is what we've done in the past, is we go, and we get right in that masculine energy, but we know the masculine energy. What we don't know and what we're not good at and what we are uncomfortable with is the feminine energy. So this is what we are meant to learn. This is what we are meant to embrace. So this next chapter is not going to be built on rushing, on quick go movement. No, we've asked for peace. So how do we create that peace? It's by embracing the journey of peace. It's by practicing peace from the very motivation of your first action. So when you go to act on this new beginning, on this new dream, on this new life that you're embarking on, check in very closely with yourself. Is my motivation for this next action based on pure love, based on the ease and the grace experience that I want to have? And how can I embody that energy now as opposed to trying to rush or force the process, okay? Now, I thought this was really cool because they said gold is the goal. And I thought that was really interesting. So gold is very representative of the sun. It's representative of royalty, empowerment, like wealth, okay? That's the color gold. So it's really interesting. Gold is the goal, renewal, rebirth. The sun will rise again. And I thought this was beautiful. So it's like, how can you make this energy of the sun your goal? So the sun rejuvenates us. The sun heals us. The sun is all about rebirth, okay? So that needs to be the goal rather than sometimes these earthly things. We need to have more of this experience of what is my intent? How do I want to feel? And what is this intention I have for my future? And for many of us, it is to remake ourselves into who we really are. It is to unlearn all these toxicities and learn love and learn this beautiful balance between the earthly life and the spiritual life and spiritual expansion. So they're kind of showing me, make rebirth the goal, make renewal the goal. Make sun, right? And the sun is very representative of happiness, of joy, of positive outcomes, right? So how can that be your goal? And once more, the energy needs to be what we're in. And trust, okay? So what's fated for you is written in the stars. Okay, so I thought this was really cool because they're like, once again, when you sow these seeds of joy, when you sow these seeds of your dreams, and you allow them to grow on their own schedule and on their own time, it's incredible what happens, because they're kind of showing me someone who's like constantly looking at the seeds and they're watering them and they're doing all the things and they're like, grow, 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 like hurry up. And then the opposite of someone who's doing it in their pleasure, where they're coming out each day and they're like, oh my goodness, look at you, you're growing. And it's like you're talking to the seeds, you're talking to the little sprouts, and you're encouraging them and you're giving them what they need. And it's a joyful experience. It's no longer from this space of like, you better grow because I want these results. It's now coming from this space of warmth and happiness and playfulness of like, oh my gosh, you're enjoying every stage of the journey. And they're just saying like, watch how differently things grow for you when you take this new approach of softness, of patience, of flow, of sun, okay? So it's really cool because then they're showing me this project that just takes off, okay? It takes off from this. So movement and overflow. So before you know it, when you practice this joy and you practice this loving encouragement and this surrender energy, things just grow. And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize, but I came out today and there it is. There's the flower. There's the sprout. It's already here. And it's almost like it shocks you by how quickly that happened, right? And we know this happens, but it's like overnight, something just goes, whoop, there it is. And all that work doesn't even seem like work, right? It seems so joyful. It's all been building up to this. And we know that plant is going to sprout, okay? So movement and overflow, this joy happens. And they're showing me there's the cup overflowing. So we're realizing this mistaken view. So mistaken points of view come to light. You're not going anywhere. You're right where you need to be. I thought this was so powerful because once again, a lot of us, we're unhappy where we are. There's always this energy that a lot of us carry where it's like, I'm not happy here. Nothing's perfect yet. I can't be happy until I'm out of this situation. And they're like, what if that's not the case at all? What if you can create and be who you are and be in this energy of overflow and plenty right where you are, even if things aren't looking perfect the way you envision? And they're kind of showing me this awareness of like letting go of all of this judgment and harsh mentality when it comes to yourself and your life and how things need to be, and shifting to once more like everything is well, all is well, everything's working in my favor. And it was really cool because once again, they were showing me this itching to like get out of a situation and be like, I need to be going somewhere. I need to go somewhere else. I need to get out of here. And they're like, no, you need to be at peace right where you are. And this is what a lot of us are learning, is how to be peace even in a tumultuous situation, even in a tumultuous world, okay? So there's a lot of us, once again, to bring it to the planet scale, are wanting to be like, this is awful, we need to get out of here, we need to move away, we need to get out of this situation, look at the economy, look at this. And they're like, what if that's not the answer? What if the answer is actually being love and anchoring in that love right where you are and where it's needed most? Okay, so some of us are going to be getting a little bit of this reality check of like, wow, we're needed. We're needed here. So are we going to abandon where we are? Okay. They're like, we need to refresh our minds. Okay. Now, some of us are in a work situation where we're wanting to get out of that. And they're like, what if you're needed there? What if your job's not done there yet? What if you're meant to share more light? What if you're meant to be more light? And once again, some of us get resentful. Well, I don't want to be all this light for everyone else. I need to think about myself. And they're like, this will propel you forward. You just need to be patient. So they're like, really lock into your day-to-day experience and lock into love, because love is what shapes your new reality. And if you want to create a more love-based life and a more loving world, once more, I'm going to say it again, you need to embody it. You need to be it. You need to share it. So once again, we're not meant to know and control everything that's happening in the world. And I think that's honestly one of the reasons why I even was being told to take a step back from the planetary scale of things the past few weeks. I've needed to focus just on me, just on my inner circle, and how powerful it is when you do that. And realizing that sometimes that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be focusing on what we can control, not tying ourselves to worry and stress of what we cannot control. So look at situations from that point of view. What is within my spectrum of control? What can I do? And realize that your voice matters, who you are matters, and to once more be an advocate for love, okay? And that means there's no right or wrong sides, okay? Now this is a heavy reminder. Love is unconditional. So do not sow seeds of division. Sow seeds of unity. Sow seeds of love, okay? So super important reminder this week. Where can you sow in these seeds of love, of harmony, of oneness, and to tap into that energy daily, okay? It is very vital that each of us do this. So what makes you feel most connected to the universe, to love, and how can you do that regularly, okay? And it's interesting. Some of us also are going to need this reminder that it's not about you. So the confidence instantly comes to the surface. So it's like, I love how they put this, cutting the cord to low self-worth. So this is where this is tying in. Some of us are going to be like, wow, I feel like I need to be this advocate for love. I need to be stepping into the light and helping people. I'm needed. I need to be utilized. And then there's the fear. I'm not good enough. Can I do this? And they're just saying to you, this is not about you. Don't make it about you. Okay? So once more, this reminder comes in. When you get nervous, focus on service. Okay? This is not about you. This is about love. This is about the people you are going to help, the people that are going to have their lives changed by you being you. Okay? So if you're like, I know I need to take this next step, I know I need to do this thing, but I'm scared, trust that the universe is working through you. Trust that the universe is going to utilize you to give you the answers. You are the vessel of spirit, and you are always connected to everyone and everything in this vast, amazing universe. Do you realize how powerful you are? Right? So don't focus on your inadequacies or where you feel you're not good enough. Focus on trusting the universe to utilize you. And this is going to change everything. When you focus on what you are giving to others, it changes the whole perspective. So, focus on where you are and realize that is exactly where you need to be. So set yourself free from your own bondage. So where have you bound yourself? Where have you said, I'm stuck, I can't move, I can't do anything, I'm in these chains? Well, you're not going to go anywhere by having that attitude. You're only reinforcing you're stuck, you can't move, you can't go anywhere. So how can you break these chains that might even be self-created? You're free, my friend. You can do anything with your life. You're a grown-up now. Sometimes we need this reminder that we don't need to be given permission to change a situation. Okay? Some of us need to own our shit. And excuse my language, but some of us need to own our shit and go, you know what? If you're not happy, then do something about it. Okay? They're kind of coming in a little strong. They're like, we've been hearing you're complaining a lot. When is enough for you? When are you going to take a change? Even just a shift in your perspective. Okay? So they're really just reminding us the power of your life is in your hands. You cannot expect us to do everything for you. You have to make the change. So free yourself from your own bondage and get very, very clear of what that bondage is. What is holding you back? What is making you feel stuck? What is making you feel down, low, depressed, stifled? Get rid of it. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean blowing up your life. This means even a shift in perspective, okay? Because once again, we have to remind ourselves we're right where we need to be. And the key point is everything is a lesson. So what lesson are you currently learning where you are? And maybe this is your learning experience to advocate for yourself, to make the change, to speak up when things aren't going your way, and to also release what you can't control and continue to be in your power no matter what, okay? So I love how they put this, rise like the horizon. You're being called back home to you, to the heart of all you can be, which is anything. And I thought this was so beautiful because once again, this reminds us to come back to where our soul is feeling confined. So if your soul is feeling confined, if your heart, your authenticity is feeling stifled, what can you do about it? How can you more freely express who you are? So that means breaking free past the limitations, past the boundaries you've imposed upon yourself or that others have, and making that change. So they're kind of showing me where there are outlets and ways you can express who you are, okay? And go that direction. Make a plan. Do something about it, because the minute you take a step, your soul goes, yes. It feels it. You feel the shift in the energy. The moment you decide to stop being a victim to your circumstances, you feel the energy change. Oh my God, I can do this. I can take this next step. I can be all of me. And I deserve to be all of me. Every part of me deserves recognition. Every part of me deserves to be heard and seen and valued and expressed in my life. So, are you letting all these parts of who you are be expressed? Now they're saying, stop tying your identity to a job. That's not who you are. And no job, unless you're fully doing it on your own, can fit that expectation. So they're like, what can you do for now? Okay, until you're in this space where you can do your own thing, what can you do for now to be content, to be in your love, and to be all of who you are? And be realistic, because you cannot expect your job to be everything. All right, even your dreams, when you fulfill one dream, That's one dream. That's not going to give you everything. So you have to allow yourself to be everything, no matter where you are on the journey. And the key is give yourself permission. So when you're at work, do you stifle a part of yourself? Do you hide a part of yourself? Or are you free to be you? Okay? Because everyone deserves to be themselves 100% of the time. So they're kind of showing me a persona. So someone kind of tuning into a persona or a different person when they're at work. Because it's like, well, this is the face I need to be, and I can just hide myself behind that, and that's more comfortable. Because I don't think other people are going to appreciate this side of me. Well, what if they do? Right? Where have you already placed a judgment on what things would look like if you were your full self? So break free. What are your confines? And can you allow yourself to be it all? And to realize that you are in this process of coming home to you, coming back to yourself in all ways. And how beautiful that's going to feel. Okay, they're even showing me the effects this has on the body, because you're going to even notice where the parts of you that are not expressed or are stifled in your physical body. And I'll give you an example of that. So a real strong one is the voice. So when you haven't been able to voice yourself, voice your concerns, voice who you are, express yourself into the full degree, well, your throat chakra is going to be blocked. Your throat chakra is going to be suppressed. You're going to have throat issues eventually. You're going to have these physical manifestations that come up. So when you free yourself, notice how even your physical health improves, how your physical body gets better, because you're finally recognizing your needs and you need to be yourself, okay? This frees you. This frees the body. The health improves. Your vitality improves. Your mental health improves. Oh my gosh, all I needed to do was just tell myself it was okay. And it's really funny. They're actually showing me that's literally it. You just had to tell yourself that it's okay to be yourself. So if you've had repeated situations where people tell you it's not okay for you to be yourself, you need to stifle yourself, where have you reinforced that belief in yourself? And where does that now need to change so you can start attracting a different outcome? So if you keep attracting the same cycle of repression, of suppression, it's not okay to be me, what do we need to do? We need to come back to the root. We need to come back to ourselves and go, where have we said that to ourselves? And keep reinforcing this in the energy. So that's what I'm attracting. We need to change the story to change the outcome and the outer attraction. Okay? So allow yourself to go in and go, okay, now I need to reinforce that I'm enough, that it is okay for me to be me, and give myself this permission to free myself. Okay? So this is really huge glow up that we're having this week. It's very empowering. We're realizing what we deserve. We're realizing the life we want to live, and that is a life of freedom. Okay? Now this was cool because then it goes into this very key reminder: grow quietly. Your voice does not need to be loud, but it does need to be fierce, filled with conviction upon the path in which you are going. So fill your voice with belief. Okay, now this was very cool. So we do have a strong reminder here of using our voice, but not in an angry way, not from this motivation of like, I'm going to show you guys. It's like, once again, we're acting from this space of love. And okay, if that comes up, then express that in a healthy way. You know, get that anger out, okay, in a healthy way, and come back to this space of love, because emotions are valid. Emotions need to be felt. So we might get this roaring. They're actually showing me a roar come up, okay? And it's a roar from even past lifetimes where we felt this suppression, where we felt this anger of not being allowed to be all of who we are. And that's very powerful. That's very strong, okay? So we need to get this out this week. So they're showing me like working out being very helpful to physically release this anger, boxing, punching your pillow, having a scream, whatever you need to do to unleash this anger that you've kept inside of you is key. And then from there, when we've released that emotion, we come back to this space of, okay, let's reset. How do I want to move forward now? So we're growing, and we're growing in a way that is harmonious. We're growing quietly. We don't need to be loud about it. We don't need to broadcast what we're doing. We don't need to yell it out to everyone. We don't need to course correct everyone, because some people are going to feel that urge. I want to change everyone. I want to help them change. I want to help them grow. And it might come from this very beautiful space of intent. But no. Okay? Grow quietly. Your voice doesn't need to be loud, but it does need to be fierce. And I love that, because it was like, be filled with your own conviction. This is being true to yourself, okay? When you believe in yourself, when you believe in your voice and who you are and what you're expressing, people feel that too. So once again, this comes into the confidence, and they're showing someone growing in their confidence, where they're finally speaking up for themselves in a beautiful way. And this might come through an expression, a creative outlet, a creative expression and project, however this comes out, but it's coming through in this beautiful way of like, this is what's changed my life. This is who I am. And it's so beautiful, this shift in energy from anger to now this motivation of pure love of like, I'm just going to share myself. So fill your voice with belief. Know where you are going, and seeing this is believing. Okay, so this was huge. So once again, this voice activation, this throat chakra activation, this new activation of belief and confidence helps us pinpoint with certain clarity the path forward. Okay, so once again, they're like, wow, the energy drops in. This is my life purpose. This is what I want to do. This is who I am. And once again, do not tie your life purpose to one thing, to your project at the moment, to your job at the moment, to whatever it is. Don't tie your purpose to that. Your purpose is so much bigger than one thing. It is you being all of you. It is you expressing your love on this earth. That is your purpose. Your joy is your purpose. So let that lead the way. And with that, clarity starts coming in tenfold. So if you've been feeling confused, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. How am I going to do this? How am I going to help the world? Feeling all the pressure, whatever. The clouds are lifting. You're starting to see the path, and you know now where you're going. To more love, to more joy, to more beauty, to more fulfillment, and all those beautiful people you're going to meet and help along the way by you just being the full expression of you. So to really simplify this, my friends, your goal right now is to be all of you. They're being very, very clear here. It is not your projects. It is not your dreams. It is not your goals. It is literally you being all of you, and however that wants to come out, however that wants to be expressed. So come down from the goal, come down from the expectation, come down from this energy of this is where I'm going, this is where I need to be in 3D terms. Come back to yourself, come home to your soul, and then take action. So this is what's key, is then we begin to see that light at the end of the tunnel, and we realize that's where we're going, the light. So helping reinforce this is this very strong reminder to play, okay? So it's very easy to get caught up in the hustle, the bustle of life, the darkness of the world, whatever is distracting you, stressing you out. That's why they're like, cut those cords, my dear, cut those cords. But playing helps us be in the moment and helps us manifest more of this energy of play, freedom, and joy in our existence and in our reality and our future. So huge, huge homework this week to play. Play every day for your health and prosperity. It is vital. Love is all around you. Grasp it and hold on tight. Embrace potential and set things right in all ways. Ask yourself, where can I embrace my potential? Okay, so we're going to pause here. So play, play, play. I love how they said this is vital in these areas of health and prosperity. Okay, so a lot of us are like, I want to manifest good health. I want to manifest more prosperity. Well, play. Play. Okay, play is so good. Laughter is medicine. We know this. So have you had your daily dose of medicine, of play? Okay, we need to learn to surrender, to let go. Yes, there's a time to work. Yes, there's a time to do things. Yes, there's a time to set and streamline goals. But right now, we need to learn how to play. So play every day for your health, your prosperity. It is vital, okay? And this huge reminder, love is all around you, okay? So where are you looking at life right now? Because our big tendency is to look at where things annoy us, where things aren't working, instead of looking at what is, instead of looking at the blessings, instead of looking at what is here and available to you. So once again, this reprogramming needs to happen to start seeing the good in your life rather than immediately jumping to the bad, because there's always going to be things that drive us nuts that we don't like. So how can we focus on what is good? Okay? So shifting the perspective. Love is all around me. All I need to do is tap in. And isn't that the truth? It's so crazy to realize this, because no matter what is happening in your life, you always can tap into love at any time. It doesn't need to be searched for, though sometimes we might need to search for it ourselves, but it is always there, okay? So where is the love in your life, and how can you grasp it and hold on to it? And realize that that's what you deserve, okay? Because once again, they're tying in the self-worth here. You deserve love right now. Even if you're not there yet. Even if you're not going towards your goals. Even if you're feeling stuck. You deserve love right now. Not when you're better. Not when you reach the next goal. Right now. So hold on tight to that. That's what you deserve. So from there, we then get this motivation to embrace potential. And I thought this was cool because the more we bring love into our lives, the more we start giving that to ourselves, the more we reinforce that that's what we deserve in our lives. So with this new foundation of like, I deserve, I am worthy, we then go, oh, well, what else is there for me now that I've realized I'm good enough? Now I'm ready to take a step because I'm not letting fear hold me back anymore. And then we go, well, what is my potential? Right? And then it's like you follow these breadcrumbs down this new path because you're like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? Where could this lead me if I believed in myself? And now that I do, now that I'm reinforcing I'm good enough, where could I go? And it's like, where could you be without your fear, without low self-worth? What choices would you make? And it's like this whole new pathway opens up. This whole new door is like, here you are. Walk that new path. And it's amazing. So then we start asking, where can I embrace my potential more fully? So then they wanted us to go through each area of our lives and go, where is my full potential here? So look at your finances. Where's my full potential in my financial future? Okay? How can I expand my financial potential? Is there more knowledge I need? Is there more information that I can glean? Is there more shifts I need to make to be fully in alignment with my full potential in this area? And then in my relationships, am I really going to my full potential in my relationships? Where have I held back in my relationships for fear of rejection, for fear of hurt? Or where have I been protecting myself from love in my life? And if I was to embrace the full potential of who I am and the full potential of my friendships, my marriage, what would that look like? And once again, it's like this balance between the head and the heart, because once again, a lot of us want to be analytical with this. Oh, well, this is what I would do. This is blah, blah, blah. Great. But where does the heart want to go? So they're actually highlighting marriage. Okay, so for some of us, maybe we're in a marriage, maybe things have gone stale. Maybe you're in a relationship, they're okay, but they're not great. Well, why? Where can you expand your potential as a couple? And this goes for single people too. Where can you expand your self and your potential with your relationship within yourself? Okay, or your friendships, like however this applies. But they want us to take things to the next level. So if you're living a subpar life, why? If you have a subpar relationship, why? Are you comfortable with that? Are you accepting that? Where do you need to take things to new heights? How could you have the most loving, fulfilling relationship? Okay? Take it to the next level. What can you do to expand this amazing experience of love? And they're showing me the heart just opening, because it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know it could be this fulfilling. So if you're not feeling fulfilled in your life, how can you take the bull by the horns and make it happen and truly go to the full potential of yourself, the full potential of what life could be for you? And once again, don't stop there. Go into health. Okay, go into your mental well-being. What's the full potential? How happy could I really be? Let's explore that. Could you imagine if that became your goal in life, was how happy could I make myself? What a shift. What a shift, okay, period. How happy could I make myself? What can I do to make me so happy? Because that's what we all want. That's the end game, is we want to be happy. We want to be in love. We want to feel all of the things. We want the full potential, the full experience. So where are you holding back? Okay? Live a little, okay? Life does not need to be so serious. Okay? Let go, surrender, have fun, learn to play, learn to embrace it all. Because we don't know what's going to happen next. We never know. But we can trust that we're in control of certain aspects, and those certain aspects we can make the best. So go for it. Go for it. Don't hold back. And this is really cool because this frees up any discrepancies or grievances between you and others, because they're actually showing me this harmonization coming in. There might be some miscommunication. They're showing me between you, maybe a partner, maybe a boss, maybe a friend, whoever this is, whatever discrepancies have happened, misunderstandings in your life with people, this is all balancing out. And they're showing me this smoothing over that's happening, because now we're like, I'm so in my love, I don't even care about that miscommunication anymore. It's like, I'm so happy, I don't care. That's in the past, we're moving on. And they're showing me a power struggle and that dynamic of like competition, and that once more coming to a head and then smoothing out, where it's like, oh, I just realized there's nothing for me to really worry about. There's nothing for me to actually bump heads with you about anymore. I can be on my own merry way in this beautiful, respectful space where it's like, Obviously, we don't negate ourselves. We don't negate our voice and our identity, but we do allow ourselves to not sweat the small stuff. Okay, this is key. So where have you been sweating the small stuff? Where have you been letting little things get to you and build? Where has resentment been stuck in the throat chakra? They're showing me this need to lash out, this annoyance. Get that out of you. Don't hold that onto that anymore. Be free. Because if this is the person you've chosen, if this is the career you've chosen, if this is the life you've chosen, if this is what you want to continue to choose in your life, then make peace. Don't hold on to these things anymore. Okay? Smooth it out. Harmonize. Balance. Okay? And once again, balance means you don't become a pushover. You don't become a mat someone walks all over. But this also means you know when to let go of things that are just hurting you. Okay? So let go of power struggle. Let go of any of these restraints. You deserve so much more. So this was cool because then they're showing me this advancement energy that's happening. So they're like, don't be afraid to ask what you don't know. Okay? So seek knowledge to find the answers. Okay, very, very important. So they're showing me helpers coming in. So if you're like, I have fears and I don't know how to expand because I want to be in my full potential. I want to be in my full happiness, but these fears are there. And they're kind of showing me some of these fears are irrational. Some of these fears aren't really anything to be worried about, but we're worrying about them. And if we just took the next step and expanded our knowledge in it, it would nip that fear in the bud. So they're showing me the example of like, I don't know enough about finances and it's scaring you because it's like, well, I don't know how to invest. I don't know how to set up a financial future that's successful. I don't know where to start with a budget. Like any of these things as an example, they're like, just find out. Just find out. And it will clear that fear, okay? Or it's like, I don't know how to start a business. Well, find out, right? So it's like removing these fears that are unnecessary for you to be dwelling on, okay? So clearing stuff that's unnecessary, that's distracting, that is keeping you up at night, nip it in the bud, okay? If there's things you've been procrastinating on, do it. Get it out of the way. There's a conversation here. Some of us are needing to have a conversation with someone. Have that conversation. Get it out of the way. It's no big deal. Okay? Like they're really saying it's no big deal. So allow yourself to just free yourself, right? And find out any answers you need, okay? So knowledge is power, making yourself safe and giving yourself the gift of mental well-being. Okay, so then comes in course corrections. So you're in alignment with the light, your light, okay? Rest easy, all is well. And it was so beautiful because they were showing me the hand of God coming out and reaching for you and holding your hand. Oh, I've got a little kitty coming up. And it's like letting yourself take the hand of God and trusting that God was going to provide for you and show you the way. So this is where those course corrections come in. And it's funny because they're showing me once again the grace of this. So God steps in, the divine steps in and goes, here's your next step. Just course correct. It's all good. If you find out information that things you need to change, that's okay. Make the change. No big deal. Okay? And this knowledge is going to be empowering. So they're just like, don't worry about it. All is well. Take our hand. We're leading the way. So a fresh new beginning filled with your hopes and dreams. Expansion, growth, love, harmony. Okay, so beautiful. So reaffirming the truth. This is a new beginning. We're in a rebirth process. So once again, there might be little birth pains. There might be labor pains. There might be things that really suck that we need to clear out of the way. But to me, it feels like it's towards the end here. Okay, so hold on. Keep going. Keep pushing. It's okay. All is coming to this new birth. All right. So this new beginning is filled with your hopes and your dreams. And I love this because it's so true, because when we're in our joy, when we've really expanded to our full potential, everything becomes beautiful. We put on these rose-colored glasses. We become very, very aware that our new foundation is love, that everything that's coming in is love and light. And even if it's not, we come to this awareness that we can still be in love and light no matter what new territory finds us. So that is key, how to navigate life in such a way. So heart rebirth, the heart is opening, releasing regret, and seeing every road you took led you right to where you needed to be. And so beautiful. So, so beautiful. We're realizing there's nothing to regret. We're realizing every journey was the right journey. Every path, every twist was the right path and right twist for us to truly get to this space now. And you're in perfect time. I really hear that. Everyone needs to have this reminder that we're in perfect timing, okay? There's nothing's too late. So from there it goes, embrace hope. Take the lead. You are the leader, the savior of your own life. And they said here, you are perfectly designed. And I thought this was such a good reminder because it's showing us there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You've been given every tool. You've been perfectly designed to become the leader of your life. You just need to give yourself the confidence. You just need to give yourself the belief. Okay? And this is what's going to activate this next stage in your journey. So, my friends, that's all I have for us this week. What an amazing reading. I feel so hopped up from this week. I believe we're going to have so much coming in to truly help us realize once more the power of ourselves, the power of that law of attraction, the power of our mindsets, and how to really move forward in the best of ways. So here is me sending all the love in the world to each of you and wishing you a beautiful week ahead. Take care.